Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of How You Livin'. I'm Dr. Sam.
And I'm Dr. G. We're gonna test the chlorine first for the AquaTru and the Berkey. Here's AquaTru and there's some Berkey. So let's first do the chlorine test strips.
Dip the strip into water and move back and forth for 30 seconds. Okay, this is 30 seconds. Estimate if results fall between two color blocks. Okay, wow. All right, so we did the Berkey for free chlorine. Now we're gonna do the AquaTru. I'm just gonna hold it in here for 30 seconds. All right, let's see the results. All right, guys, we got the results for our total chlorine and free chlorine in both AquaTru and Berkey, and it was both at 0. So chlorine's added to water normally to kill bacteria, but we don't want it above the optimal level because then it could disrupt your gut and cause other issues in the body. So these both were at 0. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. Here are the samples that we're gonna put into these cups for both the Berkey and the AquaTru, and we're gonna send it out to the lab to be tested. In this water, we're gonna be testing for really important byproducts that we see that are affecting our health, like we find in tap water, like heavy metals, which can affect different parts of our body that are in our water. We're gonna see how well these filters filter them out. Also, different chemicals from the industry that come into our water, we're gonna see how well they filter them out. So really exciting, gonna wait for the results, but here, watch me now, fill this up right to the shoulder, and then we'll be sending out this sample. It's a little past the shoulder. Hope that's okay with them.
Okay.
And then we'll fill this to the top. There you go. Makes me have to go to the bathroom. I gotta pee now. All right, there you go. And then let's fill up the Berkey. So on this side, fill this up to the So this is my personal Berkey from home. So let's see how my trusted Berkey has been serving me. The filter on this Berkey is about a month and a half to 2 months old, but it should be that this filter is working very well. So I'm really interested to see how my personal Berkey has been serving me for the past 2 years, and opening myself to choosing a new filter. This is a brand new one that I just got. I've never used it before. So these results for this test are gonna really encourage me to choose a better filter, and Sam and I to talk about which one's our favorite after this. So it's gonna be really cool. So stay tuned. All right, hey everyone. We are ready to drop the results of the AquaTru versus the Berkey. Now, we live in California, where you would think that it has the highest standards, right? Because we're very environmentally and health conscious here. It has the highest standards for its tap water. But surprisingly, when we tested the tap water with the tap score test, it was pretty shocking. So their system is out of a 99% scale. And the tap water result that we had when we first did our test, and this was a while ago, was a 48 out of 99, which was pretty crappy. And to think that there's people who are drinking water that is below 90 or 99. We're drinking 48% water, and why? So most of the water that we're drinking has to be chlorinated. That's the way that the government keeps us safe. But the problem with chlorine is not only what it does to our gut bacteria, right? It sanitizes the water, but it also affects our gut bacteria. But on top of that, the breakdown products of chlorine can cause a lot of issues in the body. So when it comes to chlorine, at the very least, even if you don't want to order a test and do it, you can always test. It's a super cheap test. So you can test chlorine in your pool. You can also test it in your drinking water. You just use strips and follow a color guide, and you'll know how much chlorine is in your water. Chlorine is a problem that will affect your gut, but it'll also affect your whole health. Now, for this water, the things that came up were bromoform, which is actually connected in a byproduct of the chlorination process, and it affects your nervous system, your brain, your liver, and your kidney, and it stays in your body for 1 to 2 months. So imagine, we drink let's say, a liter of faucet water in the day, that liter of the bromoform that we're exposed to is going to stay in our body 1 to 2 months, right? Then we drink the next day more and more, and it starts building up, right? So 1 to 2 months to get rid of that is not going to be enough if you're drinking it every single day. So bromoform can cause problems in our body. What else? Uranium. It's a heavy metal, and it's a nasty one. It's connected to autoimmune disease, high blood pressure, liver disease, kidney disease, and reproductive disease. So uranium was found in this tap water at higher than normal levels. The last one is one that's commonly found and a big one of concern in faucet water. It's called trihalomethane, and there's 4 different types that occur, and it's a byproduct of the chlorination process. So all the city water that you drink is going to be chlorinated. So there's a high likelihood that it can have high levels of these trihalomethanes. These are connected to elevated risk of cancer, particularly bladder, colon, and rectal cancer. But they're also connected to liver, kidney, neurological, and reproductive disease. And this was found in really high levels in this test, in this faucet water. So really, really interesting stuff that we do find in the faucet water. So if you are drinking tap water, here are 3 things you should do. Test it for chlorine, see how high it is. You can do a tap score test and do a full evaluation of your water, or move to a water filter. So moving to the AquaTru and Berkey results. A lot of you may or may not be familiar with this, but these are 2 countertop water filtration systems. So they work through different mechanisms. AquaTru utilizes the reverse osmosis concept, and Berkey utilizes carbon filters. So I personally have both in my home, and I use both. First, I had the Berkey for a while. I tried out the AquaTru, and I go back and forth. Both of them are really good regardless. Now, in terms of this test, it turned out that the Berkey edged out the AquaTru just by a little bit. The AquaTru came out with a 91 out of 99, and the Berkey came out as a 93 out of 99. Now, 2 things that are really, really important to remember. They both did their job that you look for a water filter to do. Actually, they did it at a really high level. They removed everything. They removed the heavy metals like fluoride, lead, arsenic, cadmium, aluminum, all of the ones that really, really can affect you or your children. They did their job. They also removed pesticides, herbicides, all of those nasty chemicals that are found in city water, and they did it at a really high level. So interchangeably, they are awesome. It turns out the only reason why the Berkey edged out the AquaTru was based on 1, a pH factor, and 2, the hardness of the water. The thing about that is that's much less of a concern for me than the heavy metals and the chemicals in the water. So for me, even though the Berkey edged it out by 2 points, to me, they're both comparable because it was just based on the composition of the water of which we tested. Now, if we went to another place, another house, and we tested the water, it could be that the AquaTru edges out the Berkey by a few points. Really, the take home is that they both did their job at removing arsenic and other heavy metals and other chemicals. Really, really important stuff. The reason why it took a while to get these results is that we kept having a problem with a bacteria called coliform. Because these both are open systems, they're not under the sink where it's a closed system, it can be protected, they're vulnerable to this bacteria. So what I did personally when I retested the AquaTru and the Berkey, because both of them actually were adulterated with coliform, one for the first set of tests, the other one for the second set of tests, is one, you have to make sure if you have an open loop system, like an over-the-counter water filter, you have to make sure you clean your hands when you're handling it. 2 really important things, because it's an open loop, there's always the risk or the potential of it being compromised by the bacteria. So make sure if you have an over-the-counter filter, if it's a Berkey or an AquaTru or any other one, make sure you're cleaning it often and you're cleaning your hands as well. So there you have it. That's a take home. AquaTru, Berkey, both awesome water filters, both high-level water filters. They remove everything. And the results, even though the Berkey edged the AquaTru by a little bit, it's arbitrary to me, and both are really, really awesome. So if you have one of them at home, stay with it. You can dry your sweat. Everything's good. And make sure you're changing those filters often and cleaning your hands and cleaning the filters.